So here comes Bryan Hertha, ready to take the green flag. We're about to get this race underway. Hertha accelerates a little bit before the corner and then accelerates hard as he comes out of turn number 14, and the green flag will greet them as they crest the rise to the top of the hill and go for it once again. Watch out for Bobby though, he's got a good run on his teammate Bryan, and Bryan goes to the inside, Bobby goes to the outside. He's had a tremendous run out of that last corner, and if there's one rule between these two, it's that they don't take each other off, and Bryan Hertha lets Bobby go through without too much of a battle. He's got to watch out for Greg Moore now, who is also all over the back of him, with JJ Leto there now, up into 4th place, courtesy of not coming into the pits. But let me tell you that Michael Andretti is in 5th place. He's got a full tank of fuel. His car will be heavy. He's got a good set of tyres on though. Look at this, Greg Moore trying to go for 2nd. Bryan Hertha, oh no! Bryan, you so nearly took out your team boss. He braked late to stop Greg coming past him, and he so nearly took Bobby off with him.
Yeah, he threw the car sideways to not hit Bobby Rahal there, and he was thinking of his teammate. He knew he was going to be...
Oh,
goodness, that's Alex Barron in the Eagle Toyota. What happened there? I have no idea. The yellow flags must have been out. Whether Alex had some sort of mechanical problem coming down there, it's tough to say, but certainly he lands up there. Look at that, right on top of the car. Of Bryan Hertha, but Hertha, he was under pressure there from Greg Moore. He tried to brake as late as he could, and clearly he left his braking too late, and at the last minute he knew he was going to hit his teammate Bobby Rahal. Hitting anybody is not good news, and particularly his team leader Bobby Rahal, so he just threw the car sideways. He just clipped Rahal, but luckily not nearly as hard as he would have done if he'd have just slammed into the back of him on all 4 wheels pointing in a straight way. So a shame for Hertha, a mistake by Hertha there for sure, bad mistake really. He was under pressure from Greg Moore.
Well, let's take a look. Apparently the driver is okay. We could see him nodding around, and we've heard a good report. Now, there's Hertha. He so nearly hits the back of Rahal. As you say, chucks it out of the way. But watch behind, Jeremy. What is going on? That Alex Barron ended up launching himself down. Can we spot it in the bottom of the picture here? We see a few cars heading down the hill. We see PJ go through. Well, we don't see what started that. He just suddenly launched himself. Those safety workers are lucky as well, because, of course, they were attending to Bryan Hertha.
Yeah, and I look at that again on the replay, and, you know, you can see the way Moore and Hertha closed up on Bobby Rahal. Bobby was very conservative down there in turn 5. I think he took his young teammate there by surprise. And there's Hertha looking around him here, and look at him. You could just see him brace himself there. He sees Barron coming down towards him, and the corner workers, well, the kart safety team there, they luckily were just paying enough attention to their left there to look up and see Alex Barron flying down towards him.
Yeah, frightening accident indeed. Look at this, that's the moment. He braced himself. Natural thing to put his hands up, of course, is probably the worst thing he can do, but...
yeah, he didn't put him on top of his helmet. That wouldn't have been smart. He just put him up into his chin, I think, mainly to get his hands away from the steering wheel. There's not too many places you can put your hands in that situation. There's not much room there, of course. There is Alex Barron out of the car, out of the Eagle. A shame. That Eagle's been running awfully well for the first couple of races. It made its debut just last week at Mid-Ohio, and it'd been running pretty well this weekend as well, fitted with that new Toyota RV8D engine. But I don't know what happened there. Maybe he just lost it under braking there. Cold tyres, of course, having just come out of the pits, and you're braking there from over 200 miles an hour into that tight 2nd gear left-hander at turn 5.
Now they've got the problem of trying to get the thing off the car of Bryan Hertha. Of course, is still stuck down underneath that car, and it can't be a particularly pleasant experience to have a car sitting on top of you. It's great to hear that he's not hurt, but they've now got to try and get that off without doing any further damage either to him or, well, not really much about the car. I think they're pretty badly damaged already. They've also got a truck in there that perhaps they can lift it off. I think that's probably a more sensible idea. And, well, we are certainly seeing plenty of incident again here, aren't we? Bobby Rahal is now... up front. Well, he's been into the pits actually. Bobby has made his stop now. He's decided to take advantage of this yellow to make his pit stop. That means that Greg Moore is now our race leader, who has not decided to come into the pits yet. That's an interesting move. Andretti's moved up to 2nd. Again, here we go. Bryan braking late.
Yeah, but look at his car in relation to the others there. And he's certainly braking late, but Bobby is being pretty conservative there. And Greg Moore got onto the brakes a little bit earlier than Hertha. Yeah, Hertha certainly braked too late there, and you could see him turn the car left to try and avoid his teammate and then take the consequences after that. And look at Bryan Hertha there bracing himself as he sees Barron's car coming down at goodness knows what speed, straight at him.
Yeah, I mean, that must have been one of the most frightening experiences of his racing career, I should think. It's one thing when you're having a shunt, and to a certain extent you're just hoping that it all ends peacefully, as Michael Andretti said last week. But when you see someone heading straight towards your car and there's nothing you can do about it, that really is a nasty situation. There, they lift the car away. Bryan is okay, that's the good news, and this race will continue. Is race leader after 12 laps, Michael Andretti in second. Gualter Sales is up in third as a result of not being into the pits at all. But this is another replay, Jeremy, of the incident that's caused the yellow here.
Yeah, and certainly as it came down into the braking area, Hertha was under pressure from Greg Moore. So you can see there in second place, he knew he was going to hit the back of Bobby Rahal. Extremely bad news that would be. So he gets hard on the brakes. Actually, you can see him turn the car there hard left. He spins off there. Don't know, he just catches the left front wheel there on the barrier, but he might have got away with that. There might not have been too much damage, but a few seconds later on, well, look at all these cars just streaming past here. A whole bunch of cars comes through. At the back of the fact, there's a little bit of dicing going on there with Richie Hearn, I think, and Robbie Gordon. But right at the back there is PJ Jones, and behind him on the right-hand side of the picture, Alex Barron. Look at those safety guys diving for cover there.
Yeah, that's one of the scariest aspects of the whole accident, the fact that the safety guys were charging out of the way. You know,